Hello and welcome. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Chat coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. It's a little cold here. I imagine it is where you are too. Let me just get my secondary device up. I forgot to grab a water. Darn it. I filled it up too. Well, shoot. So as you're hopping on, say hello. I'm going to grab one out of the fridge. And just hop on and say hello. I don't like to drink bottled water, but we do keep it for emergencies. So as you're hopping on, please say hello and welcome. I don't see any comments yet. So as you comment, I'll know my secondary device is working. Just hop on and say hello. Hi, Judy. How are you? There we go. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate that. I'm going to go around and flip it off on my one device then. As I've told you in my saga before, you have to have 3 devices now to do a live and to get it, excuse me, real time. So as you're hopping on, please say hello. Judy said hello. Let me know where you're coming from. Boy, they're coming in now. Becky, Pat, Gwen. Hello, April. Excuse me, I didn't mean to cough there. Let me get a sip of water here. I forgot to bring my cup out. So if Jeff happens to see this, I keep a Yeti cup all the time full and drink water all day long like nobody's business, but I filled it up right for live and I left it upstairs. So Judy has sprinkled. Hi, Casey. How are you? As you're hopping on, please say hello and please sprinkle. To sprinkle means to do this. So just hit that button that looks just like that and send it out either to a crafting group you're in that is allowed and you know would like to see something like this. Hi, Gwen. Or on your own page. Every time you sprinkle us out, it helps me grow, it helps the stencil smith grow, and that's the goal right there, for us to grow, get bigger. I want to spread all the love of, yeah, hello Sherry, hi Bonnie, how are you? Hi Carol, hi Casey, I think I said hi Casey before Maureen. Hello and welcome. So today we have 2 stencils that are on sale, which is awesome. So today and tomorrow they are 15%, or they're 20% off. They're on sale 20% off, and you can save an additional 15% with my code SIGNSHACK, and that's SIGNSHACK. These are the 2 stencils. You can screenshot that if you want. It's but the links are at the top of the page. It's number 6197 and it's a medium. They're both mediums. Hi, Donna. And it's number 10344, which is also a medium. Were you sick, Bonnie? I was wondering because you weren't here last week, and I was going to check in with you, and then time got away from me, and then I saw you posted on one of my posts, and I was like, oh, there she is. So I was wondering and worried about you. Anyhow, hi, Vicki. Yes, we've had about 18 inches, and it was, I think, the wind chill, or the real feel as they call it now, was negative 13 this morning. So it's very cold. It's very cold out here in my garage, even though I have the heat on. It's just like permeated the concrete. It's hard to get warm. My fingers are cold. So anyhow, these are the stencils that are on sale. They're on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. I use both mediums. Those are the numbers. The links are above. So with my code SIGNSHACK, SIGNSH. Oh, Bonnie, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I did miss you last week, and I meant to check in with you. I'm assuming you're out and you're feeling better. I did not know that. Hi, Sign of the Times. How are you? Hi, Vicki. I forget if you're Kathy. I'm so glad you're better, Bonnie. Thank goodness. You got ice, and it's still here. We've got a lot of snow. Why did you let your son? I don't know, Judy. I've been to California, and if I could, I would move to California with my son. I'd be like, come on, here comes Mom. So, of course, he's in Southern California, San Diego County, and it's very, very nice and sunny, and it's just so beautiful there. But anyhow, so all you Californians or Floridians that are, and Carol, I think you're in, yeah, you're in North Carolina. Goodness gracious, like all those southern states, I know you're probably like, what is happening? We're used to it up here, but not this cold. When I went to Lowe's Friday, when I walked out, I had never been so cold in my life. And it was, I looked at my watch and it was, the real feel was -17. And it was really, really bad. It was like, my cheeks hurt so bad, I just couldn't believe it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bonnie. I'm glad you're feeling better. Prayers and best wishes for you to get better. Hey, Julie, how are you? Having a snow day up there in PEI. So anyhow, thank you for sprinkling, Sherry. Let's welcome Sherry. She's a first-time watcher. She's one of my good friends from high school, and she called me before the live and wanted to know how to watch it. So welcome, Sherry. We're glad you're here. Y'all's weather's, Becky says, y'all's weather's been down here drunk. It needs to go home. You got 18 inches too, Sharon? Yeah, we did too. So yes, so make sure to sprinkle. I guess I forgot to show you, this is the giveaway today. This is one of my favorite backgrounds. It's number, I thought we were doing a real pretty background today. It got close. Okay, you're welcome, Sherry. We're glad to have you here. 9283, and this is an extra small. So you can get other sizes in this, but the giveaway is an extra small. But this is a beautiful background, and I've used it in a lot of different stuff. I didn't get my Valentine. Oh, yeah, I did. No, that was the musical notes. But this is a similar thing up here. So this is musical notes, and this is like a real pretty script. You know, it's not legible or anything like that, but it's just to make a fuzzy background. So these are the music notes with a distressed chippy background, and look how pretty that looks. Backgrounds are just absolutely beautiful, but I thought that we would do a background giveaway today. So anyhow, so this is the giveaway. Make sure to sprinkle in your name, and make sure to comment sprinkle in the comments, because if you have a private, Becky says, welcome Sherry, we're so glad you're here, and welcome everybody. We're so glad to have you. I'm so glad to have you. April's so glad to have you. But those are the stencils. They're on sale today. So with the sale price in my code, which you can use anytime to order for 15% off, it is a total of 35% off those two stencils. And so we're going to get started right away. And I did mess with this before the live, so I'm going to show you what it's going to look like, but I'm going to do it ahead of time. I'm making a tray today. So this is pretty much the same. This is a paint, and then this is it as a stain. So I use the paint as a stain. This is the back. And this is a, two of us now. Yep, two Sherrys. This is a, I think it's a 1x6. Let me measure it. I think maybe it's a 1x8. No. So it's a 1x6. So it's two 1x6s. And I did before the live, and I posted a video earlier that I have posted before. Thank you. It's soapstone, fusion mineral, and then it's a little bit of pebble added into the soapstone for the stain. But just to show you how you can stain with a paint and you can paint with a paint and the difference. And I'm going to flip it over and do it on this side real quickly, because this is going to be a relatively quick live, guys. But anyhow, I did post a reel ahead of time, and it showed you, I didn't show the tool I use, but it's a tool I got on Amazon. Hi, Kathy, how are you? And it's a jig, it's a dowel setting jig, and it allows you to set the dowels in it and make it accurate, you know, so they line up and everything. So you can see where they join together. That's not just my paint line. That's good, April, I'm glad. But anyhow, so that's what I used with a little bit of wood glue and dowels. And if you watch the video that I posted earlier this morning, it will, hey, it will show you how I did that. And if you want to know what tool I used, I forgot to post the link, but just message me and I'll give you a link to the tool that I used. But it's a real handy dandy tool when you want to make a board of a certain size and you're joining boards together, because you join them just beautifully. Hi Dorothy, how are you? So I'm going to angle you down. We're going to get started. I did cut this 18 inches long, and I should have cut it longer, honestly, but my mistake. So I'm going to flip it over, and this is going to be the stained end here. Got a little bit of paint on that. Let me just sand that off so the darkness doesn't show through. Get my sanding drawer open here. Sand it like a little eraser there, get some of that off. I didn't mean to do that. But I'm going to stain this part. Now, this is going to be the front of it, and these are the holes, which I've already drilled for handles. We're making a tray. And had I been thinking I cut these 18 inches long, I probably would have went 18.5 inches. And I don't know if you can see, but that's how good it is where it joined together. Right here is where they're joined. But it's really, really a fabulous tool, and it works. It makes joining things so much easier. It takes the guesswork out for you. And it drills at a certain depth too, which is really, really nice. So I'm going to put my gloves on. I don't usually do this, but we're going to have a lot extra time today. We might actually be done in an hour, maybe a little longer, but I don't think it's going to be too long. So I'm going to start staining this side, and it doesn't matter if I go over a little bit because I'll tape it off and I'm going to paint this with paint. But what I did was these are both, you got a Happy Meal today, yay! Hi Jarita, how are you? Thanks for sprinkling, and if you're just hopping on, this is what the giveaway is today for the sprinkle. A beautiful, beautiful background. I don't know what it's called, but it's number 9283. I should have looked that up before the live. So I'm going to put a little bit more paint out here. And I'm going to start up here on this side of the board, and I'm going to stain it. So with this paint, I'm going to get a wet wipe. On Amazon, if you want it, message me and I will send you the link. I did share the links of what I'm doing. They'll be posted after this video, but Facebook is getting really weird about sharing links, and they're getting really weird about it is all I can say. So just make sure to message me and I will send you a link to the tool. It's a really, really cool tool. So I'm going to start with this paint, and I've got a wet wipe, and I'm at the bottom of them, so I had to wring it out a little bit. And you can always use any paint for stain. And I've just picked a little bit of it up, and I'm going to start just spreading it on the board, just like that. And it doesn't matter if I go up past this line where I'm going to paint, because I'll just tape it off and paint it. And being that it's going to be lighter, it will be fine. And I've already done the sides of it. So I just thought I'd show you this if you haven't ever used paint as stain. It's a really, really nice option. See how pretty that is? If you don't have stain and you're like, boy, I'd sure like to use some gray stain on that or something like that. Guess what? Just grab some gray paint, or grab some green paint, or grab whatever paint you have. And this is actually so nice and light here. I don't think I'm going to add any of the other side. I did add a little bit, just a little bit of the pebble in, but I don't think I'm going to add a little bit on this side. I might add just a dab. So let's take a dab. So that's this lighter gray. And I'm going to smush that in there just to lighten the tone just a little bit. Just a wee little bit, but the base of it is going to be that soapstone. And this is a really, really nice way, like I said, to get a stain when you don't have a stain on hand. I know, Paint a Stain is so awesome. It's an awesome, awesome tool. So you can see, and if you have, like if it's too dark, add some water, mist some water on it, something like that, you know, like this, and just rub some more. And you can also sand it a little bit to distress it. One thing to note when you're putting water on wood, even when you're using a water-based stain, it will raise the grain of the wood a little bit, the water does, so typically you have to sand it afterwards. So now we've got that soapstone, and we've used it as a real pretty gray stain, just like that. And I'm gonna dry it just a little bit. So we'll just dry away here, and we'll paint this side. Oh, well, I'm glad I could give you a new idea, Casey. It's funny how sometimes you watch something and you're like, wow, why did I never think of that? I do that a lot. I feel like that's the story of my life. The things that could make things so much easier. And that's actually what that jig is for joining this wood together. It makes life so much easier. And my sister was the one who showed me how to do that, what to order. So, hi Gay, how are you? Thank you. So for those of you that are new, please make sure after the live, if you have not now during the live, but after the live, make sure to follow me and make sure to follow the Stencil Smith. And make sure to join our group, Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith. It's a really fun group of girls. I think probably every girl that's on this live. And if there's a guy, if Paul's peeking in or something like that, I'm sorry that I said all girls. But please make sure to join Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith. There's some beautiful, beautiful ideas on there. Everybody paints just such gorgeous things. And I mean, I get a lot of ideas on there. Ways, you know, you see it and you're like, wow, I never thought of even painting it that way. So I'm just making sure that's dry. And I'm gonna tape off the line, which is actually very hard to see. I'm gonna take my gloves off for a minute. Yeah, I don't use baby wipes. Now I've said don't use baby wipes before, but then some people that use baby wipes get upset. So whatever you use, whatever works for you, that's fine. That's what I had always heard that baby wipes have some kind of oil on them. So I use, it doesn't matter what kind, but just the wipes. So I ordered. Oh, that's so awesome, Jamie. That's so fun. My son is getting married in August, and I keep telling his fiance, I'm like, when do you want me to start, you know, making stuff? But I don't want to start ahead of time. She's told me their colors, but it's still a little damp. So let me get this here. But I'm very excited to start making stuff for the, oh, that's okay, Casey. Yeah, Lita says, if you are using baby wipes, make sure the wipes are free from oil, water-based ones. Hi, Tammy, how are you? Tammy's just a wonderful girl. I've been following her page, and she's a very talented watercolor artist. Okay. So we've got it pretty dry here. You can feel it, and it actually didn't raise the grain of the wood as much as I thought it would. So we're going to tape where I join the wood off, and we're going to paint this soapstone. So I just wanted to show you, like I said, if you had never used Paint a Stain, make sure I'm sure, yeah, probably if Sam's has them, I'm sure like Walmart has them. Because I think Sam's is, Sam's and Walmart are like, okay, so I'm taking my painter's tape and I'm taping off where they're joined. And of course you're gonna wanna really seal it right there by where you're painting, so your paint's not going up under the edge of your tape. And I've already gotten the sides, so I don't have to come down the sides, so that's good. I usually do this kind of stuff, like I said before the live. Hi Donna, how are you? Thank you for sprinkling. So if you don't know about the Stencil Smith, if this is your first live like Sherry, it's this just absolutely wonderful company. I am lucky. I have been the ambassador for them for 3 years. Now I think in the past fall it was 3 years, I think. And they're just the best people. They're a true mom and pop business. They're based out of Columbus, Ohio. They're a very small business, as it's Pete and April. And everything they carry and they make is made in the USA, which is really nice. All their products, from the Mylar on down. Now their stencils are, so say like this one here that's the giveaway. I don't know what sizes it comes in. I'm not looking at the website, but this is the giveaway today. So this is the 10 mil Mylar. It's reusable. You can reuse it over and over and over again. So this is stencil number 9283, and this is an extra small. So I'm assuming that it comes in probably a small, a medium. I don't know how large it goes. It may come in an XX small, but there's so many different sizes. And if there's a size that you need that doesn't work for you, you can always message April, and they do their best to accommodate you. If it doesn't make the stencil look weird, you know, when they print it off. Okay, hold on a minute here. I gotta give it a little blow. It was all filled up there. When I took it off earlier, a couple of the things went inside out. So I don't know. We watch a lot of, my husband and I, we usually watch a series at a time, and we'll watch like one episode a night. That's like our thing to do after dinner. We wind down and we watch one episode of something. We just recently finished up Landman. But we watched a series. I don't know if anybody's watched it yet. It's called, yeah, that's a good idea, Lita. We watched, I think it's His and Hers. And oh my gosh, I have to say, I watch a lot of like mystery. You do that to your clothes all the time, Jamie? Yep, it's the best way. So I'm going to mist, I used this earlier, but I'm going to mist my brush. And it helps the paint move better. Landman was excellent. But if you haven't watched His and Hers, wowee. That ending I did not see coming. So I don't know if anybody here, I'm not going to say anything about it, and don't say anything about it. If you get a little hair or something in there, if you know what it is, because I wouldn't want to ruin it for anybody who wants to watch it, but I highly recommend it. It is the last like 10 minutes of it, I was like, holy cow, I never in a million years, usually I'm pretty good at figuring things out, because I like a lot of ID, and I read a lot, and mostly I read, well, I shouldn't say mostly, almost everything I read is a mystery. And it's really good. That's all I got to say. So it's super good, Jamie. It's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a little more paint. And like I said, I always like mist my brush just a little bit. It just helps the paint flow better. And then also, when you come on the side, like run your finger along it, because sometimes you get like a big lip of paint and you don't want to get it. So it doesn't look good, and then when you sand it off, it goes down to the bare wood usually. Try not to paint up that way. Paint with the tape when you're taping something off. Let's see, pull it down here where you can see. I think if I go up a little bit. Okay. Get a nice coat on here. Need a little bit more here. And this is a really nice way to get, you know, two things in the color family. You're using one as a stain and then one as a paint. And like I said, run your fingers along the edge. That way you don't get that like lip where it drips over. Try not to fill up your pre-drilled holes. If you pre-drilled them, I did ahead of time for time's sake. Try not to fill those up with paint when you're painting. Need a little bit more there, and I think one coat's going to do it, so we'll just get this done. And we'll dry it, and we'll see and make sure one coat's okay, but I think that's going to be okay. It's such a nice brush, isn't it? You'll have to search for his and hers. Yeah, it's on Netflix. I mean, it definitely has some naughty point, you know, parts in it, but I think almost everything does now. But boy, it's really a good, but like I said, the last episode, the last 2 minutes, you're like, wow. Hi, Renee, how are you? Thank you for sprinkling. This is the giveaway today if you're just hopping on. It's a beautiful, beautiful background. That'll look so pretty in a lot of things. I can see this being used like in a lot of, say maybe July 4th things. You know, it looks like that old-fashioned script. Valentine's things. I forget who it was. I think it was Jamie. I could be wrong though. Said that they were working on their wedding things. This would be a really pretty background for weddings. Be beautiful. I swear I'm getting, I don't know if I'm shedding. I might have to put one more little coat on this, but maybe not. I don't think so. You liked Homeland was really good, Bonnie. I watched that when it was first on, I think it was on Showtime. That was a really good series. And that girl, I don't know if you've seen the new one she's in. Claire Danes, I think it is. That was a really, really good show. I forget what it's called, but she's got a new series also if you just search Claire Danes on Netflix. Like, we don't watch TV all day long, but that's the one thing we do at night. We watch one thing. Thank you, Lois. We watch one thing with the with each other. And I'm just going to put a quick couple little splashes here. There was a couple places I didn't cover completely. And I'm going to sand it down, so I don't suppose it matters, but I'm going to give it a light sand. Okay. So I'll give it another real quick little Mayor of Kingstown. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it's really good, Bonnie. I think you'd like it. Claire Danes is a really good actress. You saw the trailer to her new show? Yeah, it's out if it's the one you're thinking that's on Netflix. Hi, Denise. How are you? You love having a snow day? Yeah, we got so much snow. Our grandkids came Friday. Or no, they came, when did they come? Saturday? I think they came Saturday because they didn't have school Friday. And so they came, no, they had school, but it was really bad. So she just went home. My daughter went home. Usually she brings them over on Fridays after school. And so they came Saturday night to spend the night. And Sunday, my son-in-law came to get them, and he couldn't even get down the road. Ooh, I bet that is, you know, I haven't used mist a lot. I bet that's really beautiful. That's just one of those colors I haven't used very often, Judy. Okay, so I think I've got it dried. I'm sorry that took so long. I forget, I was talking about something. I lose my train of thought. I read a comment. I tell you what, if Fuchsia Mineral, the ones I use the most are Fort York Red, the Black Coal, and the White Casement, or Raw Silk. I use that a lot. But like if you just invest a little bit of time, I use a lot of Deco Arts paints, so don't think I don't use that. So when I take this tape off, I'm gonna pull away from where this line is. I'm not gonna pull towards it, because if you pull towards it, you could potentially pull like a chunk of paint off. So pull like away. Oh, see, just like that came off the stain. I'll have to put a little stain on that. I was worried about that. Okay. So there we go. How pretty is that? Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. I did have a little piece of paint, or a little piece of board. The stain came up with it right there. I might get my gloves back on and add just a little dab in there. Even though I don't like that. Ooh, I don't know what that's doing in there. Let me get another cloth. See, I'm not even that serious about it. I just put on one glove. So that was wet, so that's why that happened. And again, if you joined us late, I'm going to pick just a little bit of this soapstone up, and I'm going to, right there, and I'll just kind of blend it in there, blend it down. You don't want to just plop it there, but I'm going to blend it down just a little bit. Yeah, it was wet, so it pulled it. I didn't have it quite dry. When you wet the wood, it's harder to get it dry. So I'm going to take these gloves off. So what I did was I just painted it basically on the line where the boards are joined together. And let me give this just a quick little dry here with my quiet one, and then we'll start stenciling, which is what you're here for, but I thought I would just show you this. Fusion paint, yes they do. It has a built-in top coat. So if I do a sign for a customer, just for added protection, because I'm paranoid, I use, if it's an outside one, I make sure I try to use Fusion Mineral paints, and I spray it with this. But Fusion paint does have a built-in top coat in it, and it does, I put signs out with no spray on for myself, and it hasn't, nothing's happened. So let's get that dried. That's a little damp there, where I just did that. But that's a really good sealer. I see people ask on the Paint and Share all the time. This is my favorite sealer for outside signs. I've never had any problems with it at all. So it's a wonderful, wonderful sealer. And I like the matte. Now for inside, my inside sealing, I might as well show you while we're watching paint dry. I like Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax Clear. This stuff, this is a big jug of it, and you just use a little dab, and you wipe it on, and then you wipe it off. Oh, kitchen cabinets, that's a whole different ball game. You can use Fusion Mineral for it, but I would use like a polyacrylic to seal, but they do have their own sealer. Fusion Mineral, but I would use for cabinets, I think I have the sealer here. This is what I would use. It's a non-yellowing polyacrylic, and it's a clear matte, and you would do it about 3 times with sanding, light sanding in between. So let's get, hi Tracy, how are you? So there's a little ridge here. So I'm gonna take, this is packing paper, you know, just like this, the stuff that comes in Amazon, and I'm gonna run it down the middle here to get rid of this line here. Now, if you wanted to make this tray food safe, you would wanna use beeswax. And then I know Lowe's has a, I forget what it's called, it's like Watco something. It has a food safe sealer there too. My sister just sent me a link recently. I was gonna go over and get some. I forgot to get some when I was there Friday. So I'm just sanding this so where the lines meet, where I painted that, there's not a ridge there anymore. Okay, so now we're gonna start on the stenciling, which like I said, won't take long at all. I think I want to do, I think I'm gonna do the pattern, this beautiful pattern. I mean, look at that. I don't think I even showed you the stencils. Look at how beautiful that is. Is that not gorgeous? And then this is the stencil we're using. These are the 2 stencils that are on sale. Meals and Memories are made here, and they're both size medium. So I'm going to start, I'm gonna put this on the darker part of the tray, and I'm turning it towards me, and I'm going to kind of center it, and I'm bringing the bottom of this right here, not the bottom of the stencil, but the bottom of the pattern. I'm going to bring it, and I'm just eyeballing it by centering it, and put it straight on that painted line there. And I'm going to stencil it up, and now I have to get tape and not bump it, which is usually my challenge. I think it's going to be a really, really cute tray. I think so. So you don't need any spray adhesive for your stencils. You just need a little bit of painter's tape and some fingers sometimes to hold them down. And I'll turn it. I know the damask is so pretty, isn't it? And this makes a beautiful, beautiful light background on just about anything. I'm not using it as a background, but it can, but I would do it very lightly. Okay, so I'm turning it this way, and I am gonna get a scrap piece of wood here because this is overhanging. So I'm turning it, usually I turn it facing you, but this is kind of longer. So I'm going to turn it this way so you can see. But see how this is hanging over like that? It'll pull this up. So if you simply put a piece of wood just like that next to it, it gets rid of that pull. So that's a little tip for you. And you know what? I think I'm going to do this. I was going to do it in white, but I think I'm going to do it in this, this pebble. I think I'm going to do the damask in this pebble. So I'm going to get, I think I'm going to get a big brush. I don't often use these 5/8 ones, but I think that's what I'm going to use. And, oh, I got to get a shop towel. I am not prepared, girls. My grandson took all my shop towels when he was here on Saturday or Sunday. On Sunday, he was painting out here with me, and he got my shop towel, so I need a new one. Okay, so if you're new to stenciling, I highly recommend the Stencil Smith brushes. They are amazing. This is the 5/8 brush. The little ones are so great for like little details. Like say you wanted to go in and make these dots a different color or something like that. You could use a small, like either the 1/4 inch or the 1/8 inch. So you just want to get your paint on your brush just a little bit on the tip. You can see it there. It'll be a little shiny where there's a little more than I need. Isn't it a pretty stencil, Debbie? Hi, how are you? Oh yeah, the wind's horrible, right, Judy? Welcome to Ohio. So I'm gonna offload. I like to offload on shop towels. And I just do that by swirling in there. You can use craft paper, you could use paper towel, you could use coffee filters. There's all kinds of things you can use. It's just something you want something absorbent to offload onto. And I'm gonna just start swirling. And if you need to, you can use your fingers to kind of gently secure it. And I'm not worried about going on my board here because it's a good board, but I have to sand it anyhow. So if I get a little paint on it, it's not a biggie. So every time I pick up paint, I offload. I know somebody messaged me I think it was over the weekend, and they had cut their own circle, which is super cool. I've done that before. It's not the easiest thing to cut a circle, I don't think. But she had problems with bleeding. And, you know, I asked her a couple questions, and she hadn't sanded real well. So make sure, like, when you're doing your project, you want to sand it. You want smooth. You want a smooth surface, as smooth as you can for stenciling. That is very helpful in no bleeds. That's so awesome, Carol. No power. Ah, that stinks, Carol. Or not Carol, Debbie. We were lucky. We didn't lose power, but I know a lot of people have lost power. So I'm so sorry if you were one of them. I can't, it's so cold. We have a generator. But yikes. And we also have a gas fireplace, so we could just run that without the electricity, but it's really cold. I mean, it's the kind of cold it would be deadly. You'd have to get something going. So I'm just picking up more paint. And so did everybody stay in for the big storm? Were you in the path of it? Were you not? I haven't really been watching things, you know, about other areas. I did see where there were a lot of power outages. Yes, gas fireplace can save your butt when you lose electricity. It's not much good in the summer when you're when it goes out and your air is out. Ooh, and it's really, really hot. But I'd rather be hot than cold. I do not do cold well. I don't think most people do. Okay, so you can always dry over these stencils. Yeah, it's supposed to here too. And I think going into Friday morning is going to be really, really cold too. I want to see how that's looking, that gray. I like it. So you can dry over your stencil. Just make sure to move it around. Don't just like hold your gun right down on it. You'll make it curl. I've told this story before, but if you're new, I didn't do it, but my grandson was drawing something and he didn't realize that there was a stencil like underneath it, like the corner of it, and he just curled that little guy right up. Like a shrinky dink. You don't do cold? You looking forward to rain in Vancouver? Oh, are you going to Vancouver, like for a vacation or something, Debbie? Because that's on the other side of the country, right, in Canada? Vancouver, I'm pretty sure that's the West Coast, right? We hope to make it there one day. It looks like such a beautiful area. It's snowing, nothing major. Yeah. Our snow, I don't think, has really stopped since we had one little warm up, or maybe two little warm ups. I know we had one because we had that big snow I posted. We got 18 inches and it was like in less than 12 hours. And that was the most we've had in a long time. And then we had, let's see, we had 18 inches, and then we've had about 18 inches, I think, since this whole storm has gone through. Not as quickly as the last time. The last time was just like a major dump, but it did, thank goodness, melt in between. We had a big thaw. It got up to 60 here. Okay. And then we're going to run the pattern down. Yeah, my son goes there quite a bit. He goes, gosh, I forget where he goes, but he's a mountain biker, and he goes mountain biking there. There's Whistler, I think? Is Whistler there? I think that's what it is, if I remember right. Okay, so I think we've got that pretty good, 2 coats, and I'm going to pull that up. A new storm? Who said a new storm? Hey, Judy, how are you? Whistler, yep, that's where he goes. He goes mountain biking there. He loves it. And the pictures he has sent me, I can see why. So I'm going to pull this up. And, oh, that's so pretty. Look how pretty that is so far. Isn't that gorgeous? Not a lot of snow and no ice. We had a little bit of ice at the end of our driveway, so I'm turning this, and I am going to, let's see, line up the pattern. Let's see here. Okay. So this is a pattern that you can just keep lining up and moving down. You just have to find the point where you're lining it up, like right there. I'm lining it up. Or no, wait. I had it like that, so let's go. Hold on a minute. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I confused myself there for a minute. You know how sometimes you overthink things? I did have to turn it, though. But it's going to work perfect. I had to really think about that one. Okay, so that's lined up. I've moved it down. And I'm going to get a little bit more of that soapstone here and offload. It's a really pretty stencil. Ice snow expected, -10. We were negative. Look at the bottom edge. Yeah, I know, but this is going to work fine. Oh. Sorry, guys, we got a snow squall warning. So this is going to work fine. You just have to look at the pattern and match it up. It's so weird. We've just started getting those. We never got them before. And the other day it scared me to death. My daughter was coming to town and I'm like, don't leave. They just said, so see how that lined up? So we're going to go down here. Yeah, I thought that would be pretty. The gray on gray. Thank you. You're a very masterful color. Debbie does beautiful, beautiful colors together. Yeah, squall. We're getting a snow squall, which we did, I mean, within minutes of that saying it. And I'm just lining this pattern up again. And I'm going to continue the pattern here in this little piece right there. I need to get a sip of water, guys. Sorry. Oh, and no power. That stinks. Hi, Sandy. How are you? You're right. Yes. Welcome. Welcome, Sandy. And make sure to sprinkle if you haven't sprinkled. We're having a great giveaway. We're glad you're here. And you can go back after the live and watch the replay if you're just getting here. Also, like after this live, I've been moving all my lives to my YouTube channel, which I didn't used to do. But now that Facebook is deleting them after 30 days, I feel like I have to. So look how pretty that is. Oh, is that not gorgeous? Look at that. Yes, they're fusion, Debbie. They're pebble. And me too, Carol. Carol's in Leroy. She's not too far from me, so she knows what I speak of. And soapstone. So these are the two colors I used. And I used the soapstone as a stain on one side, Debbie. And then I used it as paint on the other side. Okay, so I really, really like that. And I'm going to probably keep it turned. And we're going to do the Meals or Memories now. And I just got to get it. So I had a hard time. Now this is the thing, like I said, I should have cut these boards just a little bit longer, like maybe a 1/2 inch longer. Like instead of 18 1/4 inches. So, or 18.5, so it'd give you like an extra 1/4 inch on both ends, because the thing is, once I put I had to be real careful about where I was putting the things. Let me look here. I've got the holes drilled. I had to really think about it. It sure would. It would be a beautiful pattern on the walls. My goodness. So I just want to see where this is going to be. So I'm not covering anything up. And I think that's going to work right there. So I would go a little bit bigger if you do make a tray out of this. The damask is a medium, and it's on sale today and tomorrow. And then the links are, after I post this, after I do this video, they'll post and I think I'm going to do, what do you girls think? I was going to do, maybe I should do the soapstone. What do you think? Should we use soapstone for the letters on this light, or do you think we should go black or white? What do you think? I don't have more elegant handles, Debbie. I did not get to Hobby Lobby, so I can always change those, but thank you, you are correct. They're a little, yes, you need something a little more elegant, but I thought I had some nice black ones, but I didn't. I wasn't running to Menor. So, black. Debbie says black. Judy says soapstone, soapstone. Soapstone. Okay, let's try soapstone. So I'm going to get, no, 3/8. I think I'm going to go with, no, the 1/2 inch. Yeah, I'm going to get the 1/2 inch. And I'm going to grab some of this soapstone right here. And it's the same thing. I'm going to offload here. Just like that. So we have a black. We have a couple blacks. Okay, that sounds good. We're going to do, this is a great compromise. We got a lot of blacks, a lot of soapstones. So let's do, like Debbie suggested, we're going to do soapstone down here. And we'll do black in the cursive. How does that sound, guys? I love when you guys are here to help me. So we're going to do some soapstone there. And we're going to get Lamp Black, which is Deco Arts. Going to put some out. And we're going to do the cursive in... We must really be getting a snow squall right now. I keep getting all these alerts on my phone. And again, every time you pick up paint, make sure to offload. Now I'm going to lightly swirl this in here. And I probably will get different handles. But like I said, my Hobby Lobby, they have the most beautiful handles. And which I'm sure your Hobby Lobby does too. But this weekend was not the weekend to be going and getting it. And I thought I had some real pretty black ones, but I did not. I have one black one. So it's going to be jute. I love the jute, but she's right. That is more of a like country farmhousey look. Hopefully I have this straight, because that would stink. And I appreciate everybody's help and suggestions. So if I do change them, I do want to get to Hobby Lobby. I just haven't got there. I wasn't going anywhere. We went Friday to Lowe's to get wood, and I didn't think about it. And when we came home Friday, I said, I'm not leaving the house again. We had all the groceries we need, and I still haven't left the house. I haven't even stepped outside the house. I asked Jeff, I'm like, do you want help? Because sometimes I help him on the driveway, and he's like, nah, that's okay. Because he just snow blows it. Sometimes I shovel the walks for him. But he's like, don't even worry about it. Okay, so let's give this just a little dry here. That's right, offloading is your best friend. It does, Tracy. They're my favorite handles from Hobby Lobby. That's why I have a whole drawer full of them. Jamie loves them. And like I said, if you want to make this food safe, use a beeswax on it. Fusion Mineral has a beeswax that I use, and it's the same thing. You just wax it on and let it set a little bit, and then you wax it off. So let's do a second coat here. We'll get this done. I think I'm going to have time to close some bridges, and we'll do show and tell, and then we'll pick our winner. If you haven't sprinkled yet, make sure to sprinkle. And this is the giveaway today. It's a really beautiful giveaway. Right there. Yeah, that would be pretty, wouldn't it, Debbie? I think I'm caught up. You always want to make sure your paint's dry when you're stenciling. You're using thin layers of paint, so it does dry pretty quickly. But if it's not dry underneath, you're just pushing the paint around, and you'll end up with what I like to say, sometimes a bald spot, where you've pushed the paint out. You'll know. And you just want a real thin little bit of paint. Again, you just get it on the tip of your brush, just like that. Oh, the freebies are so nice, Judy. What do I do with all these beautiful creations? Well, we do a fall festival in my sister and I in the fall. And last year we did just fall, but this year I'm going to put everything in it, because what the heck. I do sell them locally. I do ship. But I've stopped, unless I know you, I've stopped like even replying to those, because there's been a lot of scam people. It seems like everybody who wants your creations are scams. And then I also gift a lot. I give a lot away too. I think I'm going to have to do the bottom line in black. That's not showing up super well. So I've only got one coat. That soapstone is not showing up super well. See that? I don't know if you can see that. It's really blending in with that stain. It's not light enough. So we're going to do a coat of black. I don't know if you could see. Can you see that? How it's just fading in with that? Just like that. You're scared to do festivals? I will tell you one thing. When everybody, and see, there's nothing wrong with trying it. I tried it. It's not super dark. So I'm just going to go over it just like that. That's how I'm changing it. Or you could do a white down there. Or you could try the, but I think this would even be too light. Or it would be too dark. It wouldn't show up, it'd blend in too much with the gray. Festivals are a lot. Yeah, I am. Thank you. You would know more about French than me, Debbie. I know probably a lot of your heritage up there and stuff like that. In Canada. And there's French-speaking provinces, I think, and stuff like that. You may be a dual, you know, be able to speak dual languages. So we're just going to do one more coat here to make sure that's nice and coated. So just like that. We've got a nice little tray. Look how pretty that is. I'm going to close the bridges. Look how beautiful that is. It's really, I really love this. Sometimes I like stuff so much I have a hard time giving it away or selling it. So I'm going to close the bridges real quick. You're in a French province? Okay. Thank you, everybody. Hi, Sammy. How are you? You speak two languages, and we speak 3. They are a lot of work, yes. 6 events. Whew. You know what? We didn't even think it was windy the day we did our market, but we had a lot of problems with the wind, and it wasn't that windy. So I'm going to close these bridges. I'm going to show you how to close the bridges. I'm going to use... Thank you, everybody, so much. I'm going to use one of the Stencil Smith liner brushes. And what I usually do is I dab it in the paint and kind of tap it off on a piece of paper. And I'll show you how I do it. I do it away from me, coming towards me, because if you do it that way, you end up putting your hand in it. And you just kind of, and I love, that's another reason I'm super glad the font's in black. Black is really easy to do. White can be more difficult. And you're just filling in those bridges, and it looks really beautiful. You do not have to do this. You don't have to at all. But, especially with the cursive, it looks so good. It just looks fluid. It flows once you fill them in. It's not too hard to do. Now, I admit, if you had, like, if you shook or something like that, it would probably be very challenging. And you don't have to. It doesn't take super long. See, this is just plopping along really quickly. I know, I love black bridges. I'm like, can I do this with black, black lettering? But then white, I just distress. And sometimes I've found with white, if you put a couple of coats on it, give it a little sand, and then you go back and you put your stencil back over it and do another coat, especially around where the bridge areas are of white, it blends in a lot better, or you just distress the heck out of it. Distressing is your friend. It's just... that. Yeah, I'm really, really liking this. And I was going to do this all in whites, and I'm so glad that I chose the damask in that gray and the black lettering. And if you make a mistake on your lettering, your wet wipe will clean it right up just like a little eraser. Yeah, we had a very good craft show, but they are like a lot. And one thing that was disappointing is we were like gangbusters. We were doing crazy. And then all of a sudden the whole craft show just kind of like stopped for a minute. And it's like, huh, what happened to everybody? And then we found out, which I had never thought about, but I should have thought about. And I don't know why anybody would stay home to watch them because they're not a good product, but the Browns were on. So pretty much the whole craft show, people are big Cleveland Brown fans here. And they left to go watch the game. And then when it was over, they were back. Well, they were really back about halftime because they were doing so bad. But it's just, I didn't expect that. Things like that happen. But I should have known that because I know from, I work at a farmer's market. I used to work regularly, but now I just sub because my dad, I take care of him if you're new. He lives with me. And he's had a lot of health challenges. And but I should have known because when I worked a Saturday or a Sunday, it would just completely clear out. Even in the fall, which is the like pinnacle of Apple everything, it would empty. So thank you, April. I didn't see that. Yeah, I've thought about doing that. Doing a home show. Because I do have a lot of my clientele, they're repeat people. And they contact me like when they want a gift. They're like, I was thinking about this. And then I go to April's site and I see if they have the stencil or a stencil close to what they're wanting, and then I work with them. And like somebody just ordered that lake pillow that I did, where I hand painted the islands and the tributaries and all that stuff on it. That was difficult. That was the most challenging thing I think I've ever done. And I'm not sure they were like if you put a map to them that they were like the correct size and stuff. So let's go down here and do the print ones. Oh, a craft show, Judy, that would be fun. The whole problem is if I leave here, Heather's got to be here with my dad. He can't really travel, so. And I'm going to do this he entails a lot of care. But craft shows are a lot of work. But they were fun. It was a fun experience. It was really fun because I did it with my sister. I don't know that I would tackle one by myself. You girls that do them by yourself, holy cow. You guys are champions if you don't have any help. Okay, I got one last little bridge. Now see, that took me like less than 10 minutes. So it didn't take super long. And you've got some nice closed bridges. Excuse me, my voice is, I just realized I don't have my water out here either for rinsing. Now you can rinse your brush. Do not I don't have my, let me grab my water real quick. I'm sorry. I left it on the, I apologize, guys. I leave my stuff everywhere. I filled it up, but I didn't bring it with me. But rinse your brush out right away. If it was my stencil brushes, I would just stick it in there and reshape it. You can clean it under the water if you want, but always reshape it. Don't ever leave your liner brushes or your like good liner or angle brushes or anything like that. So this is, we're gonna put some handles on it. Let me see here. So I've got my handles, I have pre-drilled the holes, and what I did was I measured how long this was and then measured outwards. I think it was like 2.5 was the middle, and drilled my holes. So did I get my, hopefully, oh yeah, I did get my, and I've got my screws. You like teaching? I love teaching. I'm so glad. Thank you everybody here for joining and like being with me and taking time out of your day. It really means a lot to me that you do that, and I know it means a lot to April. So I pre-drilled these holes. I did another little tidbit. If you've never drilled holes, like you don't want your holes to come through the back of your board. So you would want to take a piece of tape, say this was your drill bit, go up to the side of your board, you know, like, okay, it's there, and put tape on it where you want to stop drilling because you don't want to go through the bottom. That's one of those little things I learned right away with, by mistakes. When I first started doing signs, the very first one I made, I cut with a skill saw. I didn't even have like a miter saw or anything like that. And I sanded it by hand. Boy, that was a lot of work. So I pre-drilled these. These are little 1-inch screws because these handles don't come with screws, unfortunately. And these ones usually go pretty much with everything. And then I also did measure in, you know, to make sure that they were even. Okay. And so let's get my screw in here. Oh, thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. I look forward to it too. I enjoy it. I love talking to everybody. I know I talk a lot. I had one lady one time, I don't know if she's ever showed back up for live, but she told me on a live, she said, your crafting is really nice, but you talk too much, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do for an hour if I don't talk. I don't want to be silent. So this is it, and I love it. I got the handles at Hobby Lobby. So, and I do think Debbie is right. I do think probably a black handle would look better, but I don't have black handles, so that's what it is. But look how pretty that is. Isn't that beautiful? And the thickness of my board is, thank you, Tracy. It's 3/4 of an inch. These are two, I think I said 1x6s. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, they're two 1x6s because, well, you could rip a 1x12 or you could use a 1x12 because a 1x12 is 11.25 inches. So if you wanted to be like, avoid all the, yes, I will use beeswax on it. So my, thank you, Danica. I appreciate that. Thank you, Susan. I was initially going to use a 1x8. So I didn't think through. I could have used a 1x12 and just ran my tape down the middle. So you could do that. You don't have to do that where I joined the boards, but I did. So, oh, thank you. So this was my initial board. I did all the work and I put it together. I haven't sanded or anything, so it was going to be bigger. Because I was looking at the stencils and like the Meals and Memories fit on it well. And then I got to look and I'm like, well, I could probably get it on a smaller and it would look better. So this was a lot bigger. So that's why I had to join them together. And then I never thought about using 1x12 because like this is 14.5 inches. So this is 2 1x8s that are put together here. I'll use that for something else. But then I got to thinking about it, and but that's why I joined them together, because I didn't think I had a big enough board. But a 1x12 would be fine for this, and you could just tape it right down the middle. You just want to get the middle. So thank you, Danica. Thank you, Debbie. But yeah, I really like this. Both these stencils are on sale today and tomorrow for excuse me, for 20% off. You can save an additional 15% with my code SignCheck, and then anything else you order as well will be 15% off. Thank you, Mitzi. I appreciate that for sprinkling. Make sure to sprinkle. We're going to do a little show and tell here real quick. And I'm pretty sure I haven't showed you guys these. I had a whole bunch hanging here, but then sometimes, I don't know. I'm not super organized, guys. I'd like to think I am in some things, but when it comes to crafting, I'm not. Let me get a sip of water. Thank you, Sherry. And like I said, I do appreciate everybody joining me, joining April. Make sure to follow my page, the Stencil Smith's page, and Paint Share with the Stencil Smith if you have not. So I'm going to show you some stuff that I've gotten recently. I thought this was beautiful. It is a awareness ribbon, so you could use it, you know, for breast cancer. You could use it for any, because I know they're different colors. But this is 10307, and it's a 7.25 inch one. And I did see Danica, I think, did it on Paint Share, and it was really pretty. But it's a very, very pretty stencil. I love all the stained glass stencils. Yeah, the damask is amazing. And it will make a really, really beautiful background. It will make a beautiful background for anything. And, you know, if you did it just real light and real faint, or tone on tone or something like that, it would be beautiful in the background. So this is cute. I'm tired of the snow, but I love a snowman. So this is I Love Us. I think it's adorable. It's two little snowmen, see? And they're hugging. And they got their little scarves on, and they have little hearts. The hearts are probably, that's an overlay. Those might be on the scarf or something like that. I don't know. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate that. But this is stencil number 9843, and this is a 5.5 inch one. This is number 5. And it'll always tell you guys, if you're new, the number, because these overlay things will eventually fall off after you wash it a couple times, but it'll always give you the let's see if I can get it in the camera up here. If you can see it. Can you see that? Yeah, there, it's raised. It'll have the name of the number of the stencil. This is 5.5 inches. It's number 5, so there's like 6 stencils probably. And it's 2 pieces. And then this one will have the same thing on it. So if they get apart, you can put them together. And that would be great for Relay for Life. That was such a fun event. I haven't done that in years, but I used to do that years ago with my kids. Oh, that's fine. I understand, Sherry. Just when you order, make sure to use SignCheck and you'll save 15%. Oh, I'm sorry, Sandy. I hope nobody else is having problems with my vocals. Okay, so this I got from my sister-in-law. I can't wait to do it for her. She's a sweetheart, and she's an unbelievable crafts person, and she loves to sew. And this is stencil number 10316, and it's the 7.25 inch one, and it's May Your Bobbin Always Be Full. So I was going to make that for her sewing room. But I thought it would be really cute. It's super, super cute. And it would be cute to do like stitching on like the, you know, like stitching on the letters. That would be super cute. I'm fine on your end. Good. Yeah, it may be you, Sandy. I'm so sorry about that. Sometimes that happens. Okay. And then this, I thought this was gorgeous when I saw it. And I'm thinking about cutting out, well, I don't know. It's really pretty. This is stencil number 5345. This is an older one. This is an 11.25 inch one, but look at the beauty of that. I love you. Look at all that gorgeous detail. It's a heart. Look at all those little swirlies and dots and all that stuff. Yeah, I used to have my stencils on a rack, and I got too many, and I couldn't do that anymore, and they were constantly falling if somebody ran into it or something. So I have them in books now. But when I had them on racks, it was a serious problem. That's awesome, Lois. That is such a wonderful event. My son, he had a ball. They had, I don't know if they have it every Relay for Life, but I've got a couple cute pictures of them. They had the Miss Relay contest, and they would run, and they would dress up in girls. So he would wear his sister's clothes, and they'd dress up, and they'd do the relay in it. Him and his cousin would. But it was a lot of fun. We had a blast doing that. My niece, who is now, oh my gosh, she's got to be, my great niece, she's got to be about 24 or 25. She's becoming a physician's assistant. She just started the training for that, or schooling. But when she was born, she had neuroblastoma, and that's how we got involved in it. She's been totally cured. They found it when she was about 8 or 9 months old. This is number, I can't find it, but that is how we became involved in it, and how she became wanting to be involved in the, so this is stencil number 10317. It's an extra large, so this would fit on the 18-inch round. And this is so cute. Oh, that would be great, Tracy. But this is the quilted love. And I have not done it yet. And I probably won't get it done now before Valentine's Day. Pink relay. Yep. So they do a pink relay. They had Miss Relay when my son was younger. And they had a ball. Him and his cousin, you know, they were like 16, 15. And they would dress up. And they went all out for it. They had a lot of fun. So this is really beautiful. And it's got the same kind of stitching. I do want to make these ones for my sister-in-law. You started the round today? Ooh, I'm anxious to see it, Sharon. Make sure to share it in a paint and share. So I'm going to set that aside, and we are going to, again, this is the one we did today. Meals and Memories are made here, and both of these stencils are on sale today and tomorrow. It is a blessing, Sammy. We're very lucky. Very lucky. You hang stencils on the wall with monkey hooks, but don't have a lot. Oh, okay. I will show you. I showed it last time, and I did do a post last week, but these are what I use for my stencils. So they're wonderful. You can flip them. The clear, you know, it shows up real well, so you can just flip through them like that and look at your stencils, and then you can categorize them. So let's do the drawing now. Sherry's done the drum roll, so let's get this moving. The Meals and Memory is a medium, TL, a medium. These are both mediums. Thank you, Sherry, so much. Thank everybody for being here. We'll have another fun live next week. April is going to do the drawing. Sherry did the drum roll. And please make sure to join us next week. April's spinning the wheel. It landed on Cindy Nizizan. And I know I'm probably massacring that. I'm so sorry. So Cindy, you are the winner. And we appreciate it. Make sure to message April or email her. Congrats to you, and thank you everybody so much for joining us, and make sure to join us next week, 4 p.m. EST, for another fun live and giveaway. Thank you, Angelia. Oh, I'm sorry, Lois. I figured it was something like, usually that's what it is that helps you get involved in it. Thank you so much. So we'll see you guys next week. I appreciate it. Have a great evening and stay warm if it's possible.